Well, good evening, everybody. Do we have a plethora of gifts for you tonight? Would you
Yeah,
say,
there's a lot
Brahma?
going on.
There is. Would you say, Brahma, that we had a plethora?
I would say I have a plethora. I would hate to say that I would have a plethora if I did not know what a plethora was.
What is a plethora?
A
Fingers.
wapple.
Love that movie.
I am sorry, a wapple.
That's right, Elk Whip. So, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening to you.
How
How
you
was your
doing?
day?
It wasn't too bad, actually. Not too bad, Got
Good.
shit done. Got shit done. Didn't have too many back problems. Got out for a little while. Lovely sunny weather here. And yeah, stuff was. Spoke to my son. My sisters have told me they're coming to visit me. And my
Very
sister
cool.
Jackie said she might watch this show tonight, although she's in
yeah.
Australia. So I think hockey is a foreign concept.
Yeah, well, if Smokey can watch it from New Zealand, she can handle
That's
watching it from
true.
Australia.
Maybe they should get together.
Not that they're the same thing.
No, they're not. But how about yourself, sir? Have you had a good day?
Had a pretty good day. My dad's been visiting over the past week, so took him to the airport this afternoon. But we watched American Underdog before that, the Kurt Warner movie.
Oh,
It was actually very good.
it's all right.
And we did a little bit of bourbon hunting, and yeah, I'd say it was a successful day.
All
Got
right, let's get that up on the screen then. So that's
got a
Weller.
175 a Weller Special Reserve.
That's the RoboCop special, is it?
Yeah, got a
Holy
175 of Buffalo Trace.
nice.
We got a small Weller yesterday.
Ah,
And
which is
we
half
hit that a
empty
little bit
already.
between the two of us last night.
It's half empty already.
And a refill on a whole new Eagle Rare bottle.
Very nice.
Yeah, replenishing stock.
Good for you, mate. Good for you.
And the Elijah Craig from last week is down to there.
Oh, it's almost done. So what are you drinking right now, though? What's in the glass right now?
I think I'm going to work on the Elijah Craig, see if we can finish that off tonight and tomorrow.
Cool. That's what I'm trying to do myself. Finish a few bottles that had just a bit left in them. So tonight I'm having the 40 Creek Canadian whiskey.
Yes.
Small batch double barrel, which is a very, very nice whiskey.
Yeah, you've liked that one so far.
I do like 40 Creek. Yeah, good distiller, Canadian distiller. So cheers.
Cheers to everybody in chat.
Cheers to everyone in the chat on YouTube, on Rumble. I think it might even be out on Twitter right now somewhere. It works apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, I still haven't tried that. Of course, I switched systems again. I'm off of Talk Studio, and now we're going to EV Mux. So
yeah, I'm going to be trying that out too, just because of the combining of the Rumble stuff better. So, but we do have the chat up on screen, although it's you must be a psychotic. It's not dark mode.
I don't know if I can change that to dark mode. I could do it if I put it in Chrome.
It's the browser
it's the browser that's doing it.
How very psychotic of you.
I know. I hate light mode.
I see. I'm okay with it. Although that particular one that you're showing in that chat, I think it's the border around the names that just makes it kind of it's like LSD. Well, good evening.
Is that how we had it last week, or did we do something different last week?
I think it looked slightly different last week. I think. The chat might be able to tell us. I don't know. But good evening to them all. We have Smokey. We have Sassy Southern Belle. D. Bud Martin's here. We got Crimlon. E. Clay Thomason. We have Dave Bob. And hopefully many others. So give us the clicks and the likes and the thumbs ups and the follows and all that good shit and share the stream out.
Share it out.
Thank you all for being here on this late night show. I forget how late it is for some people.
Oh, yeah.
It's like midnight in the East. Hey, Digital Remnants here too. Good to see you. So there's alcohol is always the answer, Dave Bob. It's just we don't know what the question is. We're still trying to figure out the question then. What is so D-Bird's drink is a Metamucil. Okay, that's
fun.
Yeah. So yeah, lots going on tonight. We'll talk about our teams in a minute or two, but let's just check in on the remaining games. It's hard to see, I know, but I'll try and make it bigger. Still 2 games going on. The Oilers still scrambling to do anything of note.
Yeah, they have not started well.
They have not. The year I get to draft Connor McDavid in a fantasy league is the year that he turns to shit.
Right. Works for me.
Works for you, yeah. But of course they are playing the Jets, so really I kind of want the Oilers to win. I want them both to play really badly and have a horrible night. But
I mean, I've got McDavid's wingman, so I'm not feeling much better with you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll take an Oilers win in regulation, and that one is the better of 2 evils. The lesser of 2 weevils, as they said in Master and Commander. Still one of the greatest movies ever made. And the Kraken are continue to disintegrate.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they gave us a run for our money right up until the last 5 minutes, but we got our revenge for last year. So
yes, and I think we have a video. I think I may have a video clip from that game later of O'Connor having a little love tap or 2 on somebody. Eberle, I think it was. Or was it Eberle? I can't remember. It was a nice fight anyway. So, so tonight, the Avs just finished, didn't they?
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago. And now, of course, I can't find the freaking game here. Oh, there it is.
Of course, the teams that I pick, this is my Stanley Cup final matchup going against each other real early in the season. And the Avs got off to a very shaky start tonight. They did not have their legs at all. But Logan O'Connor, 3 straight games. He's had a shorthanded goal in 3 straight games. His name is now up there with Joe Sakic in Avalanche history. And if he does it in 1 more game, that'll be tying an NHL record. So, and it's amazing when you're going on your penalty kill and you feel better about it than you do the power play. Well, the power play has been horrible, but tonight we had killed off 20 something consecutive penalties through the first 5 games. Tonight was the first game we got scored on the PK. And we've scored 3 goals on the PK.
But really, if you can score on the PK, you never need to have a power play, do you? Ever?
Yeah.
You just PK.
Logan O'Connor's not scored a regular even strength goal this season, but he's got 3 goals and they're all shorthanded. Crazy.
I had a. Oh yeah, this is the fight I'm thinking of. So I'm going to throw this up on the screen. Just give me a second to. This was O'Connor in the Seattle game. I don't know if there's any volume or whether I'll put it down a bit. Oh, it's frozen.
Uh-oh.
We're frozen.
That's laid plans.
Yeah. I'll make it smaller again. There it is.
Yeah. O'Connor had 2 parts of the Howe hat trick.
This is the revenge for Cogliano, yeah.
Yeah, that's revenge for Cogliano breaking his neck last season, which I still can't believe that guy is back playing already. Because it's not that far removed from last season. We're 5-6 months?
Indeed.
And he's recovered from a broken neck and is playing.
Well, Cogliano was always known as an Iron Man. I mean, he had a huge stretch of games when he was with Dallas. He'd already done, I don't know, it was in the high hundreds without missing a game, possibly even 1,000. It was some huge number, and then he did get injured briefly, but he's always been a bit of an Iron Man. Yeah, this is unfortunately not playing, but O'Connor absolutely, as it said, Eberle doesn't fight much apart from dirty hits.
He just knew he had to answer the bell. Then there was a whole bunch of Seattle fans going, "Okay, well, it's McCarr's turn next," because they were booing him, for the late hit from last year. But one was a unintentional late hit, the other was a board that broke somebody's neck. So,
indeed,
not equivalent. And they never tried to get McCarr to answer the call. So
no, he shouldn't. So I believe didn't McCarr hit 250 points?
McCarr becomes the quickest defenseman to ever reach 250 points. Beat Bobby Orr by like 6 games or something like that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's incredible, but what's more incredible is the stupid announcers on ESPN. We've got stuff like that going on, and we played the Blackhawks Thursday, and I was there at the game, and all we heard, looking at Twitter, all I hear from all the hockey fans that I know is all they've done is talk about Bedard the whole night during the game with the Avs. The Avs end up beating them 4-0, and Bedard doesn't record a shot, but it's the Bedard show. I mean,
ESPN, because they pick a player and they just focus on them the entire game.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the narrative.
Well, they're going to do it the entire season, I think. And they're doing this much worse than they ever did with McDavid or Crosby. And it's crazy how much they're trying to force Bedard to be a thing, which he might be, but he hasn't proven anything yet.
No, and as Masgrave has just said in the chat, why isn't Bedard my team's savior already, guys? Well, it's going to take more than one guy to be that savior. Yeah, I mean, they're really piling too much on him, and just let him play for God's sake. Hey, Mike, good to see you, buddy. So, yeah, Mike's here, Masgrave, good Pope. Metallicus, probably watching the Boston game, the Boston game.
Yeah.
Keely Chow's here too, so welcome everybody. So Avs are on fire, I think you would say. They're
5-0 start.
Yeah.
It's actually the second best start the Avs have ever had, and going for already a record for our franchise for consecutive consecutive away wins in a row. So
they've got they've not lost a game yet. In fact, they've won every game in regulation, I think. Isn't that right?
Yep. Or no.
What was the one?
There was one game we went to overtime, I think. Yeah, it was last Saturday while we were on the show last week.
Yeah, one shootout. Yeah. Knights are still unbeaten. Vegas Golden Knights. Boston are still unbeaten, but obviously still
at
playing.
The moment.
They are 3-1 up right now at 4:27 in the second. Yeah, well, anything could happen.
A lot of game left.
A lot of game left, but they're ahead right now. Stars have lost one game in overtime, but none in regulation. But as I was saying before the show, we won tonight, but I've never been more disappointed at a win than I think since last season, when we had lots of disappointing wins, which is the weirdest thing. Like, you go, we won. Really? Right. Okay, we won, but it shouldn't have been that hard. You talked about shorthanded goals. So the Philadelphia Flyers scored 3 shorthanded goals tonight, 2 in 1 Stars power play.
Yeah, that's crazy. Who was goalie tonight? Was it Ottinger?
It was Wedgwood. Okay. He was not to blame for any of the shorthanded goals. No, he wasn't to blame for any of them. But we were 4-2 up. We were on a power play with about 8-9 minutes left, maybe, and we're thinking, okay, job done. You can just wrap this one up. 2 shorthanded goals in that power play for the Flyers, and then it was chaos.
I bet
it was mental. It was actually a very exciting game, but it shouldn't have been that exciting. And then we did manage to win in overtime. Pavelski scored in overtime. He's playing well. But a few players are not firing on all cylinders. But hey, it's like last year. I couldn't believe we were getting so many wins when we were so crap.
Well, that's what good teams do. They find a way to win the game, even if it's not necessarily going their way.
That's right. Some players are off some nights, and the others are filling in. It was Rupi Hintz is playing well. That's a good thing to see. So
yeah.
But anyway, we're still hanging in there. But Colorado are looking good already. You can see Vegas, Colorado, Boston are as good, if not better, than last year. So
Yeah, well, it'll be hard for Boston to be as good as last year, but
True, but they're certainly not dropping much.
they're looking at a strong start. One other thing on the Bedard thing that I thought was hilarious. So I'm live at the game, and during the breaks they do the stupid little games like hiding the puck and doing the shuffle, that kind of thing. So the guy gets up, he plays, he wins the game, whatever, got a Yeti cooler or something for it. And the MC hands him the mic and tells him, "Yeah, shout out, go Avs, go." And he takes the mic and immediately says, "Take notes, Bedard." And they cut the audio so quick.
Yeah, I mean, all the NHL and the mainstream media like ESPN are doing is turning people against him.
Yeah,
by focusing on him so much, like, okay, we get it. He was the number one pick. He's the hottest prospect since McDavid.
Yeah,
we get it. Okay, just let him play for a while. And
he may be a superstar at some point. Yeah. He's not there yet.
Yeah, so yeah, and the Bruins obviously don't have those guys, but they're still playing okay. Still got two great goalies, of course, which helps.
Yep.
But yeah, interesting team that are doing reasonably well so far. It's early days. The Red Wings.
Yes.
Playing pretty good, I have to say. Seen a few clips.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah, I mean, what's that? They've been on like a 12-year rebuild now or something. It's
something like that.
They're on their third rebuild.
But going into the salary cap era, they stayed good way longer than they should have. So I don't feel bad that they're now struggling 20 years later.
I'm sure you don't. However, where was that? So October 15th, 14 years ago, Nick Lidstrom passed the 1,000 career NHL points. And according to this on Vintage Hockey Showcase, first and still only European defenseman to reach that. So the perfect human, as they used to call him.
Right.
I was actually at his jersey retiral game. It was a hell of a game, a hell of a day.
Those are fun nights. I've been to a couple of the Avs jersey retirements and a couple banner raises. They're always very fun evenings.
Yeah, what's a banner raise? I've never been to it. I've been to jersey retirals.
We cleaned out our storage unit this weekend, and I found an old from a bar, one of the gigantic posters. It was the Avs schedule from the 2000-2001 year.
Yeah.
But I can't display it in my background because it was a Bud Light sponsorship poster, and I'm not putting that up in the background.
That's right. You're going to burn it.
It's a gigantic, 4-foot-long banner made of, good material. I've kept it for years and years and years because that was a cup year. So
very nice, mate. Yeah, very nice. But yeah, the Lidstrom one was great because it had virtually every Red Wings player from that period was there on the ice.
All the alumni.
They were all there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and tons of other celebrities. It was a hell of a day. Can't remember anything about the game, but the ceremony was fantastic.
That's what I was saying about those ceremony nights. Yeah, you may not remember anything from what happened in that game, but the ceremony itself is something to be there for.
Ooh.
Season ticket holder, anytime there's anything like that going on, those tickets are ones I'm using, whether I've got something else going on or not.
Yeah, according to Mike, there's a Bedard commercial on right now during the Edmonton game.
Shocking.
They're really pinning their hopes on this guy. I don't know for what reason. NHL's really pinning a lot on him. But
yeah, I don't know why. There's plenty of superstars right now. Yeah. You still got McDavid going crazy. You got Makar on the rise. I mean, there's plenty of superstars in this league.
Of them.
You got Ovechkin still chasing, even though he's not even recording shots now. So we'll see what happens with that.
I think I have an Ovechkin commercial. We have a bunch of commercials tonight. We won't get through them all, but I'll play a few.
Some new ones.
We have some new material. Yes. So looking at, if I can just go back to here, standings are obviously it's still fluid, but Red Wings, Boston, Flyers, who got a nice little Flyers clip to play later. Columbus, Carolina.
The only team in the Metropolitan with a plus goal differential.
I noticed that. Isn't that's
crazy.
Not good?
No.
And then the Avs ready at plus 11, actually. So
yeah, us and Vegas are both pretty high on the plus meter already.
I kind of like seeing the Coyotes third, but above all these other teams. I kind of like that.
It's kind of crazy, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Stay that way.
I'm fine with Minnesota having a down year.
Yeah. And Vancouver are second in the Pacific. 3 wins, not too shabby. So let's take a look, though, at what we really, really need to see, which is the fantasy standings. So I'll see if I can get this to be a little larger.
I've had a horrible day in fantasy, but it looks like I'm still holding on.
You're still holding on.
Look at today's on my team. I had like 3 players start that all went -2 for the Knights. Had a couple shots on goal.
Kachuk, Stamkos.
Sydney, Stamkos.
0-0-0-0-0-0.
Then Pasta's doing okay, and Mikko Rantanen obviously did
Riley
okay.
Not good. McAvoy's not done too well today. And you benched Marchand and Barkov, who had
of
great
course
days.
for Crosby. Yeah, I mean, just one of those days where the worst possible decision. But but Georgiev's maybe the best goalie in hockey right now, so he's working out pretty well for me.
Yeah, not bad, mate. But you're still on top. I think you slipped. You're in 0 point change right now. Given there's a couple of games still going, that may change. Well, you just racked up another hit.
Must have been Pasta.
But Mikey D and Smokey are breathing down your neck. And I was doing okay, and today I've slipped way back again. So,
well, on Thursday, Mikey had like a 3-point lead on me, and then Georgiev got that shutout, which got me on the shutout board for points, and popped me right back in the first.
Bell's still at the bottom, but she's actually doing well on assists. Bell is top on the assists at 39. So good for her. I am rock bottom on most of these.
In goals?
In goals. Yeah, terrible in goals. My goalie strategy isn't too bad.
No, but your hit strategy isn't worth as much in this kind of rotisserie league as it would be in the regular head-to-head league.
No, I need more goals.
Yeah. Well, you just kind of have to have a even keel team.
Yeah.
A team that's good, that's putting up stats in every category, not just blowing away 1 or 2.
But Mikey D's top of the PPPs by some distance at the moment on 32.
Blowing away everything on the offense.
Yeah. Bell's top assists. Mikey D's top on goals by some distance. You've got the Smokey's got the plus minus. That's not a bad distribution, but you're overall you've got the best spread, obviously. Ooh, something else just happened there. It's funny watching it change.
Lead in hits too.
In real life, yeah. So Mikey D's actually sneakingly good. He's starting to rise there.
And I did figure out the way the points. I mean, we went over kind of how the points work, but so since there are 10 categories, the max number of points you could have is 60 if you were first place in every single one. So it's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
based on where you are in each stat category.
So when you've got 45 overall, total points 45.
Right. So I'm 4th in goals. Tie. We're 2.5 on the assists. So there's ties in there too. So it starts giving partial points. So anywhere you see a 6, that means you're top. 5 means you're second. Yeah.
Well, Mikey's got 6 in the goals, 6 in PPP, 6 in hits. So he's doing pretty well on those.
Yeah, leading 3 categories, second in 2 other categories, but then his goalies are killing him.
Yeah, everyone's got a 6 in something. Tay's got he's got a 6 in shutouts because he's got 2. So,
yep.
So there's someone called Parrothead in the chat, and he's making ovine assertions. Or is it ovine insertions? It's one or the other.
I think he's accusing of ovine.
He's accusing someone of being a black sheep of the family. So Mike, his goalies keep sucking. Yes, they do. They do, I'm afraid. Yeah. But you've compensated by having some great stuff in the other stats. Your Muslim uncle's here. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Good to see you.
The Sharks.
The Shark, I know.
Yeah, could be a rough year for you.
Could be very rough. I'm sure I saw someone else popping in, but if we'll catch up with you later, I'm sure. So anyway, it's only 2 weeks in, so we'll see what happens. But there's a bit of competition at the top there, amongst the top three. So, looking at some power rankings, and this is admittedly from a day or two ago.
And from the Seattle Times.
It's in the Seattle Times, yeah, because the Athletic is a site you can't get onto without a subscription. So, so Vegas and Colorado are 1 and 2. That seems reasonable at the moment. I mean,
hard not to call it the way that the starts have happened, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could have put it the other way around, but it's not unreasonable to have it that way as well. TZ Burton's here. How are you, buddy? Hurricanes 3rd, Stars 4th. If they could just sort out some of the self-destructive shit, I would possibly agree with that. However, the results are coming in, so. But they've still got the Oilers at 6th and Toronto at 7.
I mean, yeah, the Oilers are probably going to turn around, but you don't want to bury yourself in a hole early in the season.
It doesn't take much to fall behind, does it? I mean, every game less, if you're in that hole, makes it so much harder to get back. It's quite amazing how quickly that can put you. You can get 10, 12 points behind. And that's a big hole to overcome. And that's 4 or 5 games wins more than the teams above you. But yeah. Now who's at the bottom? It's got to be San Jose. Yeah. Looking more like chum every day, despite somehow earning a point of Colorado.
Right. Yep, that was last Saturday. That was the one that went to the shootout, which was shocking to me. That was the only game I think we've played that we didn't look dominant in one way or another.
You were just trying to be nice.
It was honestly, the goalie just stood on his head. I mean, he was a brick wall all night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that happens. I mean, that's going to happen. And it's always they play up. Goalies turn it on against the best team sometimes. Montreal Canadiens, it's still in a multi-season slump. I know they made the Stanley Cup final a few years ago, but that was a bit of a fluke. And then Jackets and the Caps way down there. So I do like 27. Sorry, Blackhawks, who didn't enjoy seeing number 1 overall pick Connor Bedard and his team beat the Maple Leafs in Toronto. That I can agree with.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the Capitals, I think they're pretty much done. I think the only thing that they're going to play for right now is just to see if they can get Ovechkin the record.
Yeah, their window's closed.
I don't think they're a serious team anymore.
Yeah, their window's closed. I think they didn't even make the playoffs last year, did they?
No. And I think Ovechkin's window may be closing too, because he's not the same, at least not through these first few games of the season. And it's hard to say that he's not the same when all he had to do was stand in one place and swing the stick. So
yeah,
it's pretty bad when you've lost that.
Well, having mentioned the man, we might as well play Ovechkin. We'll have a commercial break. Does he really eat chips, though?
He does make good commercials.
He does make good commercials. Yeah. We have a bunch of new ones, but that's the only Ovechkin one I could find that was new. I just wanted to mention, with your indulgence, or just have a quick look at some fantasy player stats.
Yeah.
And these are updated every day. Fantasy data seems to be quite a good site. I'd never really looked at it before. Dylan Larkin is hottest at the moment.
9 points through 5 games.
Above Jack Hughes, Austin Matthews. I'm not sure.
Lots of shots on goal.
Yeah. I mean, you can obviously probably, you can change these, but, interesting. I mean, he's always been a good player, Larkin, but
yeah,
so you're going to have a banner year if this keeps up. So, but
yeah,
you look down.
Start.
Look down here. I mean, Draisaitl 16. I think McCarr's way too low. Although I know they work these points out in a certain way. It's a particular calculation, but seems awful low.
Well, McCarr's doing a lot of stuff, but he's not doing McCarr-like stuff yet.
Yeah.
Rantanen has come out, looking just as good as last year, if not better.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Georgiev is the top goalie on this list at the moment. So
he may drop a little bit after tonight. They did let in 4, but he was up at like a 967 save percentage, which is crazy.
It is. He's the only goalie in the top 46 on this fantasy stats list. So, interesting. We'll keep an eye on this. I think it's quite a useful list,
Yeah.
To see who's doing stuff. But you've got you've got Reinhardt, who's playing well. He's on one of my fantasy teams. And I see Malkin still kicking around. So, the old boys are still there. Some of them.
And there's actually 2 Detroit players in the top 4.
Yeah. Well, DeBrincat, who was great, he was great for the last few seasons. I don't think I've got him. Have you got him in one of your teams? It's your fantasy team?
I don't think I've got him. No, I don't have him. I'm not sure who's got him.
Yeah, I had him on my main fantasy league last year. He played pretty well. He's always a solid pick for fantasy. So anyway, good one.
Hey, Salty Traveling Sea.
So Salty's in the house. Hey, Salty. Yeah. So what have we got? We got some stuff. Let's see.
Tay has DeBrincat in our league.
Tay's got him. Okay, yeah, he's playing pretty well, DeBrincat. I like him. Yep. Good player. Good, solid player. Let's take a little look at one of the things that the YouTube hates, of course, is we had the battle of the 4
pugilism.
Pugilism. We had it was quite a good Vegas Dallas game the other day. And there was a bit of a battle of the number 4 teams. So I'm going to take a wee look at that. Here we go. Let me just pause that, and then we'll make it larger and put it on the screen. So Jamie Mann and Nick Hague got stuck in. Once they get going,
having a little trouble getting it going, huh?
Yeah, but then it's going. And Jamie, I think overall, wins. But that was a nice one.
There was a nice one.
Oh, that was a pretty good left.
Yeah, I'd say Ben won.
Yeah, but do you know who really wins in this fight? Exhaustion.
Right.
They're looking at the zebra going, just stop us, please.
You coming in or not?
Hey, I'm done. Just stop us, please. So Jamie's having quite a good season so far, I have to say. He's scored a couple of goals, and he's getting a little bit more pugilistic again after he had the shit scared out of him by Colorado a couple of years ago.
Hail Basco scenario.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Hail Basco. So, it's amazing they can fight on skates. Well, I was looking at a couple of other fights tonight, and they weren't fighting very well on skates. hacking by. Couldn't wait to fall over.
I did see a goalie fight in one of the lower leagues that I didn't send over because it was like they squared up and they each threw one punch and then fell over, and it was just like it is a goalie fight, but it wasn't really a goalie fight. It was one punch, lose balance, fall over on each other.
I know what you mean. That's sometimes they just want to have the appearance of it, you know.
Yeah. But the fans were going nuts.
Yeah. There was a couple of interesting historic, from a historic perspective, score lines, and I gotta get my screen back up here. Because I'm always kind of looking at what happened on this day type stuff in history, and there was a couple of interesting ones. So this one was, so this was on October 17, 34 years ago, one of the biggest comebacks in NHL history, which was the Flames tying the Nordiques 8-8 after trailing 8-3 with 7 minutes left.
With something similar to what happened in you guys' game tonight.
Yeah, with 2 shorthanded goals in 4 seconds, which is an NHL record. Now, I think the Flyers almost did that tonight. It was maybe 14 seconds or something. It wasn't 4, but it was pretty close. And there's
4 seconds is fast.
Yeah, and there's even a little bit of footage of this game, quite a bit of footage. I'm going to try and get some of it up. But I need to get to a certain point, otherwise it'll be... So around about here, I think it starts to get into the... We don't need the music. And then they face off. I think this is when they get to the shorties here. This is it. This is what, yeah. And there's from the face off, straight from the face off, bang. That's pretty neat, eh?
Back to back in 4 seconds. That's crazy.
Yeah. Poor Nordiques.
And this was all in like the last 7 minutes of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So 8-3 from 8-3 to 8-8. It's nice seeing those Nordiques play, though.
Monumental breakdown.
Monumental, yeah. The press, obviously, in Quebec was interesting the next day.
I'm sure.
I don't know who actually won the game. Don't know who won the game. Maybe they didn't. Did they play?
I don't know if they
play for a win then?
For ties at that point.
Yeah, I don't think they did. So that was quite a neat one. But there was another one which I found quite interesting, which was this one. This was 40 years ago today on October 7th in one of the wildest games in NHL history. The Canucks defeat the Minnesota North Stars 10-9, with the teams combining for an NHL record 10 power play goals in one game, 6 to Vancouver, 4 to Minnesota. And I'm sure TZ Burton was there.
That'll help pad your stat line for the year.
It certainly would. I'm just looking at some of the players. Brian Bellows, Neil Broughton on the North Stars side. I don't know if I recognize too many of the other names. Stan Smill, maybe. But,
they're a little bit small, hard to read.
Yeah, it's hard to read them, but 10-9. Imagine being on the end of a 10-9 loss.
You're like, score 9 goals and still lose.
All that effort. Patrick Sundstrom, TZ might recognize some of those names. But...
Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy, yes. Please no. Tom McCarthy. There's a Tom McCarthy and a Kevin McCarthy.
And a Kevin McCarthy, yeah.
Obviously Neil Broughton I recognize, but yeah, some big scores in that one. Let's just check in on the final games.
Should be partway through the third in most of them, right?
Jets Oilers heading for overtime by the looks of it, 2 each, minute and 43 to go. Boston are 3-1 up at the end of the second, so. Okay,
so they haven't started the third.
Not yet. So I think it's time for another commercial.
Sweet.
I'm keen to play some of these. There's a bunch of them where it's coach spoofing the coach, and these are made by the NHL, so they're actually, for them, they were quite funny. This one, there's a series of them. I like this one a lot.
All right, listen up. Today I want to talk about giving 110%. Giving 100% means giving everything you got. Giving 110% means giving 10% more than is humanly possible. If we're going to win as a team, we need 100% of you guys giving 110% 100% of the time. If only 50% of you guys give 110% and 50% of you guys give 100%, I guarantee you 100% we'd only win 50% of our games. Suppose 75% of the 110% gave only 50%. And 50% of the 100% gave 25%. And 75% of the 110% we're not feeling 100%. Then we'd be in a heap of trouble. That's why we need 100% of you guys giving 110% 100% of the time. Okay. Let's go out and play some hockey.
I just love the cliches.
Very much a Shoresy clip with Scott Steiner math, because we're so good and you guys are so bad and Tindy sucks. You guys work for us now.
But that's basically the clean equivalent of a Shoresy clip there.
Yep.
But the coach cliches, laden with cliches. That was, for the NHL, that was quite funny, because it was, I think it was advertised in Center Ice or something. This is,
they all could have had a beer in their hand or something.
They could have. Smoking. Lighting up. Salty says about the Jamie Benn fight, that was like watching a fight in the senior home. I'm interested in this one. Basco says Michel Goulet, his sister was my French teacher. I often thought that as well. Wasn't Goulet a chef? That was Robert Goulet. Or was he a singer, not a chef? There was a Robert Goulet.
Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé.
Bublé.
I don't think, although despite his name, I don't think he's French. I think he's from Vancouver. But Robert Goulet, I think he was maybe an opera singer. He used to be on Ed Sullivan all the time.
Maybe.
So there's a couple more of those coach ones. Hopefully we'll slip them in there. That was an awesome one. The math checks out. This is what they're teaching them at school now. That's the math they get at school.
Yeah.
Actor. Yeah, I think he was an actor and a singer, Robert Goulet. For some reason, I always thought he was a celebrity chef. It just sounds like a French chef or a designer. Robert Goulet designs couturier. And speaking of couturier, I've got a Sean Couturier chip. I have a chip. Clip. Another clip, which I think is going to be quite amusing.
Yeah, we got a lot of clips this week.
We have a lot of clips.
There was a lot of games. We
got to pad this shit out somehow, you know.
Can't expect us to actually talk. That's insane.
We can't talk for an hour and a half. Jesus Christ. So Sean Couturier, which again, he sounds like a French clothing designer. I went to my Sean Couturier for a furry handbag kind of thing. You think he missed a lot last year? I seem to recall he was injured, but he's back playing for the Flyers. This is a sweet, sweet penalty shot goal.
Yeah, and not the slow motion crap that we've been seeing going on. This one was slow, but it wasn't the same thing that guy's been doing.
Sweet.
Little fake out.
Yeah.
Buried it.
The Shoresy look there. He looks like Shoresy.
Yeah.
He does.
A little bit of back and forth.
Yeah. Let's see that again.
Puts it to the backhand, back to the forehand.
Nice. TZ Burton might have something to say about that one.
The goalie looks so confused.
He does. You're not allowed to do that.
It wasn't anything overly dramatic, but he looked extremely confused by that move.
It was such a cool goal. That really like that one. Nasty. It was indeed nasty. So, okay, so they're into overtime. Oh, the Rangers in Seattle are still playing. I didn't realize that. apparently.
Well, they're still playing, but
It's
the
all
game's
over.
pretty much over.
Yeah. Boston's now into the third, and we have overtime in the Jets, Oilers. Yeah, I think you sent me another clip of another goal.
I sent you about 15, I think, this morning from throughout the week.
Is it this one? Let me just. Oh, it's not that one.
Oh, that one's just an old time clip. I thought was funny because the goalie just
It's this.
He goes out and levels him, gets the puck out of there, and then steps over his head.
It's that one, right? I'm going to show that. Play this from the start.
First AHL goal.
This is I don't know,
and
the
it's
team,
beauty.
But yeah, watch this. So here's another beautiful goal. What does he even do there? Backhand.
Passes it to himself between his legs and then shoots it from behind himself.
Oh, I know. That's
Actually,
so
no,
sick.
he shoots it between. He passes it between his legs and then shoots between his legs.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's a pretty sweet move.
And
that's a trick shot that he's just been working on.
That's right. He probably
to do that for your first goal in the AHL.
Yeah, he probably thought, I'll never get the chance. It's Henderson. That's the Vegas feeder team, I guess. Henderson. So you'll never get the chance to use that. Never. Practice it.
Right.
Practice it.
Yeah.
Bang.
If you ever make it to an all-star game, you can screw around with this, but don't ever try it in a game. Oh, I'm going for it.
It's absolutely filthy. It's sweet to see that,
a drop pass to yourself.
Even if his career doesn't go anywhere, he'll still years from now be able to point to that and go, look at that.
Yep. That'll make some highlight reels too.
I think it will.
Well, if ESPN still did what they used to do.
Yeah. I'm just going to top up the old drink. I've got some ice here.
Ice and whiskey.
Yeah. Well, it's not like it's not malt whiskey. It's not malt whiskey. It's not the real shit. It's just this is your blended stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, I do put ice in. I put a little bit of ice in my malt whiskey sometimes because I like it cold. I like it to be cold. Sometimes
when I want it cold, I do those
the cubes,
metal cubes that you freeze. That way, it doesn't put any actual moisture into the bourbon or whiskey. But yeah, I guess the Elijah Craig's going down tonight. So
yeah,
it's empty.
After you finish that, it'll be the only thing going down tonight.
As late as this show goes, that's a given either way.
It's a given. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to play another one of those coach clips. What the hell? Why not? Oh yeah, this is a good one. I know you guys out there are going to love these. These are fantastic.
Why'd we lose? Well, I thought we shot the lights out in the first two periods. We in the third period, we just couldn't put the biscuit in the basket. We just couldn't put the stuffing in the turkey, or we couldn't even put the turkey in the oven. We couldn't put the car in the garage. We couldn't put the train in the station. We couldn't put the rod in the water, lightning in a bottle, the cat in the hat. I mean, that's really why we lost tonight. We couldn't put the cat in the hat.
The Jets scored in OT.
They did. Apparently, they did. I don't feel happy about that. It really doesn't make me that happy. I was kind of hoping, that's the worst of all outcomes, really.
You were kind of hoping to get some points off of some of your fantasy players too.
Well, no, I don't know so much about that, but it's just the Jets winning is bad enough. But at least if they were going to win, they could have done it in regulation and denied the Oilers a point.
Yeah, I hate 3-point games.
Yeah, that's the worst of all worlds. I think they rigged that game. I think they deliberately rigged it. Yeah, I think it's likely. NHL rigged that for some obscure reason. Not that they like the Jets.
Probably missed the over-under by a half point.
Yeah, something like that. There's some obscure betting thing going on here, which I know.
Hey, horror. Horror Amarada's in the Rumble chat.
Ah, horror. Good.
Good to
Let's
see
throw
you.
that back up again, yeah, for a minute. There you go. Even though it hurts my eyes.
Yeah. I should just switch it over to Chrome real quick, because I've got Chrome on always blacked out.
Well, why don't I hide that? While you're doing that, I'll find another clip to play. You're waiting, overdosing in clips tonight, you guys, because there's still not that much to talk about in hockey. I think we need some. Oh, right. I think it's time we had some vintage stuff. I know we almost played one earlier. We need some vintage fighting. Does the crowd want some vintage fighting?
I'm always down for vintage fights.
Then let me tee that up. Oh yeah, here we go. So oh yeah, here it is. Right. So another one of the this is an April the 7th. April 7th, 1974, or April the 12th, one or the other. This is the Flyers against the Atlanta Flames back in the day. 74 Stanley Cup playoffs, and a bench-clearing brawl erupts, which spills into the crowd. Now, these are stills. We do have a little bit of video. They are very unlike the Flyers of that era to get involved in anything like that. It's very, very unlike them. The things, yes, apparently got a little hairy, and the crowd got involved. So I don't know. I mean, is there anybody watching old enough in our chat that's old enough to remember that? I don't know. But apparently somebody, I'm pretty sure there was some video for this, and I don't know where it's gone. That might be the same game, but it's not the bench clearing brawl. And I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, sometimes the bookmarks put things out of order.
Yeah, I had it bookmarked. Oh, here it is. Right. So this is like a whole ton of stuff from that game. So I'm going to try and go forward when the shit hits the fan. It's obviously getting towards this kind of period, this area of the game. It's a pretty quiet one, I'm afraid.
A little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to get this fixed. So
yeah, so there's taunting the crowd there. I've never seen this before. This is pretty cool.
Taunting the crowd?
No, just this clip. And this guy's trying to get over the glass. You don't see this every day.
They got the actual cops grabbing him.
That's right. You don't see this every day now. He's wearing a tie at the game as well. Good old days.
Yeah.
So Keeley was born in 83, Smokey 84, so no one's going to remember this. But he's getting hauled out.
And the old style goalie masks.
I mean, we've had a lot of the brawling and fighting at this point, but now it's.
That's what we should do.
I bet that
1 week
behind that bench was telling them to give 110%.
Right. That's what we should do 1 week, is go through all the goalie masks in the league.
Oh,
the starters goalie masks.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because we got all new ones for most guys this year, because most guys redo it every single season. So.
But anyway, that was kind of neat, just seeing the Flames goalie was right in the thick of that one. Oh, Bernie Parent.
And he's still roaming the ice.
Yeah. I think this is the other goalie. That's the Flyers goalie, Parent. Bernie Parent.
It's amazing how much the equipment has changed.
It is. It's incredible. And this is 74. The atmosphere must have been great in those games.
Well, there was a lot more fighting.
Yeah. Good one.
I think I got the chat fixed, but now people got to chat.
Yeah. I've actually got another
little bit
advert.
easier to look at.
Yeah, it is. That's actually a lot better. Yeah, it's not in super bolded, bordered, shadowed.
No, nothing's different except I put it in Chrome where I've got it on always dark mode.
So so I've actually got another video which I'm getting a lot of videos tonight. This which speaks to the Flyer to Rangers New York Philadelphia rivalry. So let me just find that.
All right. Smokey likes it better. That's all we really worry about is if Smokey likes it.
Well, as long as Smokey likes it, that's good. So
yeah, because he's a channel member, a mod, and a whale on Rumble.
A whale.
Hey, I'm Mitch from the Philadelphia office.
Joe, New York. Hockey fans aren't like other fans. No hard feelings.
Go Flyers.
I do like that. It's pretty neat. I don't know. I mean, not being a hockey fan until I moved to Canada in the 2000s, some of those older rivalries, and they're still rivalries today, they must have been pretty intense in the days when you had teams like the Flyers that were pretty violent. Things must have got out of hand quite a lot, I would have thought. In the fans,
I imagine that would be a draw. It would sell tickets.
Yeah,
that's what people want to see today, but they keep trying to shut it down.
Yeah, but even the fans must have got involved, and there must have been a lot of fighting amongst fans, I would have thought. Like Montreal Canadiens fans and Toronto fans, Montreal and Boston fans. I guess if there were real cops around, maybe that helped damp it down. But
right,
I mean, if you're unless the violence being on the ice relieves the tension, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine there were some fans that definitely didn't leave it to the teams to decide things.
I mean, I've seen a few things kicking off, but they get shut down pretty quick in the arenas anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, there's been a couple of situations out in the streets I was keen to avoid, but generally speaking,
in the arenas now they've typically got a phone number that you can call within the arena to have somebody kicked out within seconds of them becoming a spectacle.
Oh, I've seen a few guys getting kicked out, especially if they start going after the staff,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a few situations in the streets that felt a bit off and occasionally, but nothing like football. And I mean soccer, football, in Europe, where fans are segregated, ruthlessly segregated.
Becomes a riot.
Yeah. At a certain point in the 1970s, because everywhere used to mix and fans would sit like they do in hockey, you would sit anywhere you want. At a certain point, groups of hooligans, I guess you would call them, hooligans decided that they were going to group up and beat the living crap out of people that supported the other team. And then they brought in, okay, we've got to segregate the fans, home away and away end.
Yeah.
And then segregate them outside of the ground as well. So
send them out different exits.
Yeah, it was just meant all that happened was they fought further away.
Yeah. I mean, say what you want about what happens when like a Super Bowl win happens and everybody riots, but the soccer hooligan thing is a whole different world. It makes no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. It's horrible. Ruined the game, I think.
And it's a lifestyle for half of those guys.
Yeah. It is. It's their whole life.
They think it's their job.
They call them ultras and stuff, and they're all they've got colors and whatever, and they go to games just to fight the other group and actually fight them.
I realized made a horrible mistake in my garage today. I put one of those, plastic, carpet protector things under my chair,
Oh yeah.
not realizing that the garage has a slight slant to it. So if I don't hook my feet to the
You
desk,
roll.
I'm just rolling backwards, not of my own choice.
That's funny.
So I'm actively having to try to stay up. This
Yeah.
is not going to work long term.
No, that's you need some more friction there. You're gonna have to get blocks to put on behind your chair.
Yeah. Well, I had
Wedges.
I mean, it's the garage. I had like rugs and stuff underneath it,
Mm.
but the rugs kept getting, every time I would roll back or forward, then they would all crumple up. So
Yeah,
I figured,
bunch.
okay, we'll try this thing. But then, yeah, there's too much of a slant in the garage, so the chair just rolls.
Yeah, start bunching up. So here's a little something that you, I think, sent through was around roughing.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
So let's have a look at this and then have a chat about it, because as you say, the NHL's busy doing its best to try and
Try to take
down.
all the fun out of the sport.
Yeah, let's play this. Here we go. Go.
That's a big hit. I mean,
yeah, no, I'd call that a hit. I wouldn't call it roughing. That's the brinket.
right.
Yeah.
It's not boarding.
No.
His numbers aren't facing away. It's just a big hit.
It didn't hit him in the head.
You could say it was slightly late. Slightly. But
it's slightly late, but I mean that's you see that a million times.
yeah, to get a roughing penalty for that though, that's insane.
So how are you supposed to hit a guy in that scenario if you're not allowing that?
I guess we're getting to where old man style reverse checking is the only way that you're actually allowed to check.
Yeah. And it's not like he didn't raise his arms, didn't lead with his elbows.
Stick's not involved.
Stick's not involved, didn't hit him in the head.
Just a solid hit to the chest.
It wasn't boarding because he was up, standing up.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have looked around a little bit to see what was going on, but he's been,
I don't know. Yeah. Hockey players in the chat or longtime hockey watchers, what do you think? Because I think that's just wussifying the game, kind of like the NFL does. Smokey says clean.
I don't think it's roughing at all. No.
I don't think it's a penalty at all.
No, it's not.
I think it's a perfectly clean hit. And to call it roughing is taking it beyond just a basic little penalty.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even hit him that hard. It's not that hard. Shoves him
finished
harder.
The check.
Yeah, finished the check. Yeah. So I'm not impressed with that call.
No,
I don't know if what the media reaction is or what the Detroit reaction or.
Well, they're probably happy because it was protecting DeBrincat, but.
Well, the Sens reaction.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Nathan McKinnon got high stick twice tonight where they called it a follow through, not a high stick. So, yeah. I mean, there's missed calls all the time, and then there's calls. I'm wondering if it was a makeup call for something earlier because I didn't see the game.
Yeah, I didn't see
it
either.
Very well could have been, they absolutely missed something earlier and we're doing the makeup call thing and just looking for any thing that looked bad to call it. But
and then
that's not good for the game, calling stuff like that roughing, because
players are going to
got to have the hits.
They're going to be second guessing all the time whether they're supposed to hit somebody or not. Then if you go that far, or they're going to take hitting out of the game entirely. I know they want to take everything else out, but the game without hitting,
the same game. Yeah. No. I mean, watching college hockey is not the same as watching NHL.
They're going to laser tag each other.
Isn't the same.
They laser tag each other.
Yeah, put flags on their hips and have flag hockey like they have flag football.
Yeah, I'm often fascinated by the Twitter comments in these though. So it's definitely boarding. A puck appeared to be going to. Why is it definitely boarding?
It's absolutely not boarding.
Yeah, by no definition is it boarding. Yeah, there's no driving him down, no hitting the head. He didn't even hit his head on the boards.
Didn't do anything.
I don't But then if people seem to be so far apart on these things sometimes, I guess they're just such homers. But yeah, dear NHL, just let them play and stop ruining the damn game.
Yep.
And then there's the whataboutery. Well, so-and-so was called before, but you didn't want to bring it up then. Well,
yeah, it wasn't called by the ref right there. It was called from the guy at the blue line.
Yeah, so but this is...
Because his glove smashed his face, is what that guy said?
Yeah, his glove. Now, that's because he's trying to separate himself from him after the hit.
Yeah.
He's not hitting him in the face with his glove. He's just pushing him out of the way.
He gives him a little bit extra, but
yeah,
that's...
People will see what they want to see, I guess, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on who they support.
But impartially, because I cared nothing for either team. Clean hit. Night, Kremlin.
Cheers, Kremlin. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Have a good
one. Yeah, I mean, there's this drive to get everything physical out of the game. Take it out of the game, it isn't hockey.
Right. And they're already a sport that is so far down the viewing list that they need to be doing things to get people to watch, not watering down the game.
Yeah, and yet
even if the NFL hadn't gone completely woke and stupid, from what I have seen of it, it's gotten to the point where you can't touch a quarterback. You're not allowed to hit over the middle at all. I mean, what are defenses supposed to do if you can't play the game?
You're supposed to stand there like this and get run into. Yeah.
Let the guy catch it so that he can start running, and then you're allowed to start playing. I mean, crap like that. It's... People have to stop being wusses about sports. Yeah, there's some inherent danger in playing sport, especially contact sports.
Yeah.
But you're well compensated for it, and you're making the choice to go out there on the ice or on the turf every single day. So we don't need to water sports down.
But here's the annoying thing, though, which we've talked about before, is they'll call that, and yet you can practically kill a guy and nothing.
Right.
You could break a guy's neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minor boarding penalty.
Minor boarding penalty.
At most.
So there's that. I mean, we've seen it many times, players getting badly injured or outrageously bad hits, and nothing happens. It's things that could really hurt somebody. So the inconsistency is part of the problem again.
Well, and that also varies from officiating team to officiating team. But
yeah,
it needs to be consistent one way or another, but it can't continue to water down the game.
Sure.
And like we said last week, the damn instant replay is driving me nuts already this season. I think we had one taken back.
We had one
Chicago,
which was offside by
the same thing,
micrometer,
and
20 seconds before. Yeah,
I think in all sports, if you're going to use instant replay, I said it last week, and I'm going to keep harping on it. Not that it's ever going to change, but all instant replay should be at full speed. You should not be allowed to slow it down at all. Have them make the second confirmation call or reversal call at full speed. They can watch it as many times as they want, but always at full speed.
I agree.
So it's the same, the same decision making that they have to do in the game without the camera.
Yeah, I mean, they're measuring millimeters now for shit.
Moving 1 frame per second and seeing literally,
and it could be 30 seconds before the goal. If the offside ones, it's like nothing to do with the goal. There is no impact whatsoever. Stuff like that. It's just insane. It's lawfare.
And it's not just this sport, it's all sports. Instant replay has made sport worse, in my opinion.
I think so. But I think what we need to do is go back to a time when hockey was pure and it was about the sport and gentlemen were gentlemen. We have the very first film footage ever recorded of people playing hockey February the 24th, 1898, which was, even I wasn't born then. Courtesy of Thomas Edison, apparently. This is a group of railway workers from Montreal playing on Crystal Lake in New Jersey. Hopefully the lake was frozen. Look at the style on that guy. Look at that. Look at the form.
So the stick is only like waist.
Yeah.
It only goes up to mid-thigh, lengthwise.
Yeah. And apparently one aspect of the game in those days was you weren't allowed to move because he's just standing there. Look
Your
at that.
Muslim uncle said, "Very cool. Jason is under there." Because it's Crystal Lake.
Right, Jason's under there right now. There you go. And they're from Montreal, railway workers. That's pretty cool. That's the earliest known footage of hockey.
Well, I doubt you could get much earlier than that. So, yeah.
Apparently, the NHL did call a roughing penalty just a few seconds later. We didn't see it, but his stick just got lifted off the ice slightly.
Right.
Jason got called for roughing. Jason's under there.
That's where he got his hockey mask.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
From that game.
Like it. Yeah, so I think we're almost out of those clips, which means we're going to get wine.
Somebody's driving by on some kind of weird motorbike.
I thought maybe someone was opening your garage door.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody coming after me with a chainsaw.
Yeah. Well, it's Halloween. So the one other clip is the one you sent me with this goalie disrespect one. So let me let me tee that one up because I actually didn't really watch it. It's a short clip, but
yeah, it's very short.
Yeah. So this I entitled
Puck's out in front. Yeah.
Entitled
Puck's out in front. They're chasing it, and the goalie just kind of, nope, get out of here.
Yeah.
Takes the hit and then
steps
over the guy's head.
Like, and probably breaking
nothing.
Wind as he does.
Yeah. But that goalie, chair sliding. That goalie didn't even come close to going down. 17 just gets flattened by him.
Oh yeah, he's a big
and
unit.
He should have been the one off balance.
The goalie
because he was playing the puck.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. He's a big unit, that goalie. His pads are big.
I think it was just labeled the disrespect shown here or something like that. Yeah, the disrespect.
Spitting Chicklets, another great Twitter feed and site. Just head straight for the showers. I'm thinking that as he stepped over him, he probably broke Wind.
You got to in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah. It's no respect. It's not disrespect. It's no respect. Yeah, good one. That was nice clip. We'll have one more coach video, I think, because there was 3 of them. We might as well finish the trilogy.
Finish the trilogy.
More coach gobbledygook. I just gotta get the right one. Oh yeah, here it is.
Said if that was Bennington, he would have lost his mind.
That's right. Yeah. How dare you let me hit you? Okay, the final one of these the coach trilogy.
All right, today I want to talk about our defense. The best defense is an offense, and the best offense is a defense. The reason why offense is the best defense is because in hockey, the team that scores the most wins. And if our offense outscores their offense, they'll be defenseless. Their defense might be able to stop our offense, but it can't stop our defense. Because when we're on defense, they have to be on offense. And if we have an offensive-minded defense, there's no way they can defend us. Now, I don't mean to be defensive, but some of you might find this offensive. We're going to call our defense our offense, and our offense our defense. That way, we'll remember to use our defense as an offense, and our offense as a defense against their offense. And that'll totally confuse them.
Confuse me?
Okay. Let's go out and play some hockey.
But you know what?
I'm starting to think that's what Bednar may have told Logan O'Connor about this season. Because with the short-handeds,
that's right.
it's
Yeah,
basically the defense is the best offense.
it's offense, yeah,
while
and it's
on
working.
defense.
It's working. That coach was right all along. Vindication.
Everything he said checks out.
Yeah, it's those 3 clips are really good because they do. I mean, the press interviews post game, but the coaches usually, other than if it's Tortorella, usually cliche platitude, platitude. Well, you know, we didn't play as hard tonight as we could have, and we'll take a look at it later.
Yeah,
and we'll play harder next time.
Well, every now and then you get some gems out of the losing coaches.
Yeah. I love it when they lose it. I love when coaches lose it and tell the truth. Like sometimes Bonus or Tortorella or somebody will just
I love it. I love it even more in like in the old NFL, you know, coaches like Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. That's what we were doing.
The game. Not that game. The game.
Yeah. The game.
Hey, John, heading to bed. Well, we're going to head to bed too because my glass is nearly empty and I can hear my bed calling me.
Oh, I just refilled mine.
When I'm calling you.
That's one of the only things that has color on this.
That's
view.
right. Yeah. The booze has got color.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. This mono one isn't true black and white. It's got just hints of color throughout.
Hint of
like
blue.
The jersey's got just a hint of color. The posters have a hint of color, and the bourbon shows up. Kind of like that.
Not monochrome. It's
not truly.
Yeah.
It's just desaturated, I think.
It's a bit like us, desaturated.
Yes.
Or getting saturated. Perhaps.
A little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry that you filled your glass up, but I think
it's fine.
Probably time that we drew a line under it for tonight.
Should we check the latest standings and the fantasy as well?
We will
before we take off because they have updated a little bit.
So let's take a quick look at that. Yeah, let me just get that right.
Turns out now I'm just slaughtering all of you.
I don't know. It would bloody turn out like that, wouldn't it?
Well, I did have the last pick.
I knew that would happen. Let me just add that to the share screen because I'm assuming the final games have wrapped up. We'll take a look at
most of them have. Boston probably is still going.
Well, first things first, I can actually check that scores.
Third with 1:36 left. It's 4-1. So
okay,
yeah,
I'm getting another goalie win because I've got Swayman as one of my goals. I picked All-American Swayman, so I knew I'd be getting the minimum number of games every week if you've got the 2 AA tandem like that.
Yeah. Well, Pasta had a good night for me. 1 goal, 2 assists, plus minus of 2, 1 power play point, 4 shots on goal, and 2 hits.
So 45 points you're on now. Let me take a look at the standings. Right. Overall points, 47 now you're on.
Yep. So 9 points ahead of second place at the moment.
I'm slumping down. I've gone down 5.5. So Belle's going to be passing me soon. She's busy coming up the rear.
Let's look at Belle's team. Because everybody should have had almost a full lineup going today.
Well, she got a goal out of McKinnon. Jack Hughes, bizarrely, couldn't have been playing today, which is virtually every team was playing. But,
and she had 3 centers on the bench. Belle, you got to make sure you get the starters in.
She did say that pre-game in the chat, pre-show in the chat, she was saying I didn't change my bench around.
Oh, okay.
She had Bedard.
If you do the start active players and do it for the week, it'll still let you adjust things, but it'll at least start active players over players that aren't playing that day for every day of the week. So you don't have to do a whole lot if you do that.
She may want to think about swap it. See, I hate this in fantasy when they're not IR, they're just O.
Yeah.
Because you can't swap them out and keep them. She may want to think about swapping Henderson out, but it depends on how bad this injury is going to be.
But for the thing with our league, there's so many top level people still available.
Yes.
That there's not a whole lot of reason to hold on to one that's out.
But looking at her bench, other than Bedard, I don't think she could have done too much better.
Point would have helped her out a little bit, maybe.
2 assists.
Well,
she's not got a lot of shooters
over the 0, but yeah. But the whole thing here is it's a season-long thing, so it's total number of games played. It's not necessarily on any given day making sure that you have a full lineup. If you were playing head-to-head, that would hurt.
Yeah.
But for the full season, you're going to get that game made back somewhere.
The one thing,
I'm 6 over on centers right now.
Yeah, the one thing I'd be tempted to do if it was me and I was Bill, not that I'm any guide because I'm 5th out of 6, is I would be tempted to pick up another D and drop another center. Because just to allow you to play enough players, like if you've only got 4 Ds, there you go. I hear that, yeah. If you only got 4 Ds, if you got a 5th one, you can at least have an active D playing if the others are not. Like usually it's nice to have 5D, so you can swap somebody in and get a full roster,
But there's been a couple days where I've only had 1 or 2 players going, and it's all going to even out at the end. So it really doesn't matter if you miss something, unless like tonight, I had 2 players in the lineup that did crap, and 2 players that were on my bench that would have been much better. That's where it hurts you, is when you waste a game with an active player. And they do nothing and have somebody on the bench who would have been far better.
Yeah, but I've had a bad day. McDavid's day to day.
Oh yeah,
he's hiding. He's hiding from the press. He's clutching his back or his hip, but he doesn't know which is which.
He should be hiding.
He's in hiding.
They're off to a horrible start.
They are. No, my
maybe this is the year that we finally don't hear about. I mean, he may get his numbers, but maybe we finally don't hear about how they're going to be, so overpowered.
Yeah,
because they're really not. They can't do anything in the playoffs.
And then how long is it before he and Draisaitl are out of there?
Depends on if they keep paying them and nobody else. If they keep paying them, maybe they'll stay, because they haven't shown much propensity to want to win yet.
That's true.
If you wanted to win, you wouldn't be taking those contracts and not being able to allow your team to surround you with other players.
I think they should. Yeah, you can't drop your first 2 picks, Smokey. You can't.
Actually, there's a list of players that are no drops. It's not just your first 2 picks; it's who you took. Because I've got like 4 that are considered not droppable.
Yeah, that's the same for every Yahoo Fantasy League. So
it's like the top 30 or 40 players are undroppable because it would give unless they're injured, but it would give a major advantage to you could stack a team with add drops and then have another team be useless.
Yeah, I don't think you can trade them either. They're not tradable.
Maybe a commissioner call. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that the Oilers should trade McDavid and Draisaitl to Buffalo. It's another team that they can spend the rest of their career not winning.
Doing nothing.
Sorry, Buffalo.
Send them to the Whalers.
Yeah.
Since they think they're the team by themselves anyway. Just let them play them versus everybody.
That's right. So I think by next week when we show the league, Bell will have overtaken me. Southern Bell will have overtaken me. I'll be bottom. Guarantee it.
We're in week 2.
We're in week 2, I know. I'm not doing so well in my other fantasy league either.
Reminder to everybody, in 3 days, I believe it's Tuesday night, that is the biggest night of the season up until the playoffs for the most part, or till we get down to that final stretch. Every single team will be playing on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
all
crazy.
32 teams in one evening.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy. So that means that the when the Dallas Stars lose 6 shorthanded goals, nobody will notice. There's so many other games.
I'm really pulling for O'Connor to get a shorthanded goal in the next game and go down in NHL history, because that is an amazing thing.
Now I know about it, me too.
Yeah, 3 in 3 games. I mean, that's crazy. Not only do you have to take the penalty, you have to be the guy that is on there for the breakaway to get it. I mean,
you're only playing like a minute of 2 if you're, usually.
Yeah.
It's quite a challenge.
It's been, the interesting thing is, it's been Cogliano that's broken him out every time. Cogliano is breaking up the play and then looking straight down ice and just lobbing it out there for O'Connor to chase, because O'Connor's fast as hell. So he's out racing everybody.
Well, he's going to be gunning for
a shootout goal basically every time.
He's going to be going for it. He will.
Yeah. And tonight's was a beauty. He held on to that puck till the last second, got the goalie to move all the way across, and then just flung it backhand after holding the shot for quite a while. So it's not just that he's getting the breakaway, he's burying it every time.
Yeah. See, generally speaking, this is where I find I'll be rooting for him to do that. I don't care that it's a rival team. And other than
NHL history.
Other than a handful of players who I would never root for in any circumstances, I will be rooting for him to do it. Yeah, exactly. So why wouldn't you want him to do it? I mean, everyone should be cheering him on, I think.
What would be an interesting thing that I wonder how they would score it? If he gets a breakaway next game on a shorthanded and gets pulled down and gets a penalty shot awarded, would that count as a shorty if it's a penalty shot?
I bet it doesn't.
But that would be wild.
That would be so unbelievably against the odds that it would be.
I know. I want to go make a prop bet on it right now.
That's right.
Some crazy betting site that it's like 700,000 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to specify the scenario to get that bet. I guess you'd have to specify it.
Yeah. I mean, you'd almost have to talk to a bookie and be like, give me odds. What are you saying the odds are?
It would be big odds. Yeah, but
there's not going to be just a prop bet for that.
It might be.
I wonder what the prop bet would have been tonight for him to have gotten a shorty.
Well, never mind that. What about the next one? I mean, what's the odds on him getting the 4th?
Oh, I would think it's got to be like 1,700 to 1, something like that.
It's worth minimum. $10. Might be worth $10 on it. No, I'm not a betting man, but.
Yeah, best bet I ever made was the year Lamar Jackson ended up winning the Heisman in football. I had watched the first 2 games, and he had like run and thrown for like 6 touchdowns in each game, and the odds were still like 150 to 1 on him to win the Heisman. So I put down like $50, and I think I ended up getting him at. I think I ended up getting him at 100 to 1, something like that. So he won the Heisman, in December. I put the bet down, and I can't remember what month we actually put the bet down in, but I ended up winning like $5,700.
Sweet.
$5,700 on a very small bet. It was a $100 bet. It was awesome. And at Christmas, because the Heisman gets awarded right around Christmas time. So it was like, okay, we got a ton of money after Christmas.
kind of inspired, but I guess there's a lot of people would say, yeah, I won that, but then I lost a bunch of money on other bets that, it's when it's very rare. If you don't bet very often, that becomes really sweet then.
I don't do prop bets very often. I used to do a whole bunch of parlays just for the hell of it, just to keep me interested in certain games. Because kind of like fantasy, parlays can keep you watching certain games that you may not actually give a crap about.
I think I might look at the O'Connor odds though, because that would be a fairly sweet $10 to put down. I think
for $10, sure. I mean, because it's probably going to win a ridiculous amount if it happened.
It's kind of neat. Yeah, but I'm cheering them on. I don't feel I cheer players on in these circumstances. It doesn't matter which team they're playing for. Because you love to see things being achieved. There are new records being broken.
Yeah. New generations breaking records from
Yeah.
multiple generations back. That kind
And
of
that's
thing.
such an unusual one as well. Nobody would normally think of that stat. And oh, wait a minute, that could get broken. That's crazy.
It's weird that it happens as often as it does, because there's a whole bunch of players with 3 in 3 games, but 4 in 4 games,
It just
one guy.
becomes
And it's
insurmountable.
actually a former Av also. I can't remember who it is. I think they said Dave Reed or something like that, but
yeah,
it's some random guy. But for a guy like O'Connor, who is a second, maybe third stringer, third line at best, to have the chance to get into the history books for the NHL. It's not an Ovechkin, it's not a Sidney Crosby, it's not a McDavid.
Yeah.
It's just some random guy that happened to be great for 4 nights.
Cheering them on.
That's what's fun about sport.
It's Tuesday night. I'm going to go look for a betting site.
Yeah, I don't know in Canada.
Oh yeah, well, probably
we got too many of them now in America, because that seems to be sponsoring every single sport at this point.
It probably, yeah. I think there must be some kind of online betting site I could use, but I know there's some I can't use because I'm in Canada, and
well, there's a lot that your bank just won't fund. Like if you try to use your debit card, they just won't fund it. Not that we're condoning betting of any kind or telling you what to bet on. We're not financial advisors in any way.
Financial advisors. We're not betting advisors. And if I can't use my own debit card, I'll just use somebody else's. So.
Yeah, why
not? All right, buddy. Well, thank you everyone for watching and chatting. It's good to see you all here once again. Thanks for joining us and making this fun.
Yeah.
Brahma, my friend, what's coming up in your world?
Tomorrow night I'll be on Late Night Culture. I don't think I'm gonna make mead tomorrow. Monday Night Meltdown on Comics Division's channel. Wednesday. Actually, if people get a chance, go back and watch the Christian panel from this last Wednesday on Carrie Smith's channel. We had a great time. A whole bunch of people have watched it. A whole bunch of people have really liked it. We're not overbearing. It's for everybody. It's not just for Christians. It's been a great show so far. We've done 3 episodes, and I think Carrie normally averages about 800 views. We're getting 1,600 views.
That's nice.
So people are enjoying that, and we're going to start making that a full-time show every other week. So every other week we're going to do it on Wednesday night, and we will be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be airing it on my channel, Carrie's channel, Michelle's channel, and Odin's channel. We want the show to be out there and what we're talking about to be out there, so that more people can enjoy it, or hopefully enjoy it, and more people are exposed to what we're saying. So go check that one out. But yeah, my normal week next week, just a whole bunch of shows every night, but Tuesday, I think. So
crazy. Well, Tuesday you'll be watching the game. Yeah.
I'll be watching the game. Yeah.
Cool. No, that's great. Congratulations on that show, mate. Yeah, that's something really great that you're doing.
I think it's fun to have something like that in the fellowship, because it's a little bit outside of what most people are doing in the fellowship. But there's a lot of people in our fellowship that are looking for something like that too.
Nice.
The culture war is fantastic, but the spiritual side of it is also something that I think we need to be exposing people to and talking about. So
for sure. No, I'm very pleased for you, mate. That's great. And
thank you.
I did watch a few minutes of it live, but I'm going to watch the replay tomorrow when I've got some time. So
and watch that movie too. The movie is good.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's on Netflix now. Jesus Revolution.
Heard a few things about it for sure. When I get time to watch anything,
I know. I just keep them on in the background while I'm working, because luckily enough,
sometimes I do that. Yeah,
I'm able to. So
TV over there,
I'm a little bit blessed that way.
Yeah. I've got the TV on over there while I'm trying to do show prep.
Yep.
I'll be. I think I will be on Mead tomorrow. Mead wrap up, where we're doing top 5 monster movies. I just picked 5 off the top of my head that were ludicrous. And then just cause tomorrow I could pick another 5. I could pick a different 5. I'm not good with those things. And I'll probably pop on the Culture After Dark too later. Hopefully the 2 won't. I think they need to be tighter on mead because it's cutting into culture. That's not fair.
We've talked a little.
Yeah.
We're trying to. It's a transition. We're trying to figure out how big a list can be and how much you can talk about something before it becomes too long to where you're cutting into the next show, because we really are doing Valiant into Tom into culture and trying to push that as a block of shows. So
should roll, yeah. So I'll be on those Monday on my channel. That 70s Rock Fan, my It's Only Talk and Roll show will be we're coming up for Halloween, so I thought I'll do scary bands, scary artists that lean into the whole concept of scary. So obviously Alice Cooper, King Diamond, The Damned,
Guar.
Yeah, bands that kind of lean right into it. So we'll have a chat about that, and people can bring up their favorites and why. And we're not going into Monster Mash territory. We're talking scary bands here.
Bands that like to do the showmanship of scary.
Yes, that's the thing. So,
and some of them that are probably actually scary in real life.
So yeah, well,
Typo negative.
Imperatus can do the Norwegian death metal stuff, which I know very little about.
I don't know that I want to know much about.
Some real weird shit going on there. But if you lived in a country that was frozen half the year with no sunshine, this is what would happen. I think Canada's bad. That shit's even worse. Tuesday night, I'll probably I'll be on Toxic Tuesday for sure, because it's Nick Visor's channel, because it's Army of Darkness. We're doing Evil Dead.
Going through all the Evil Deads.
Yeah, we've done the first 2. We're going to do that. And then, there'll be other stuff after that. So just check it out. I've got a couple of videos I've been working on for ages that I need to finish. Sit down and finish them, But yeah, I'm watching tons of stuff too. And I've got a list of videos to make about shows and movies I've watched that I've never got around to, but one of these days. So it'll be fun. It'll be real. And thanks again, everybody, for being here. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you soon, will we not, sir?
Cheers, all.
Keep on rocking.
See you soon, and see you back here next Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Next Saturday for sure.